Hey, y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Stay Focused podcast. Today, I got a very special guest, my brother in Christ, all the way from Oklahoma. You may have run across his music, you may have seen him on the social media, but if you haven't, let me introduce my brother, Jacob Moore, aka Young Bezzel.
Yes. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, this is long overdue. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and life happens and gets in the way sometimes. So it's a blessing to have you a part of this now.
For sure. Yeah. I know today, like, I'm really bad about double booking. I don't know if you had that issue, but I really need to get a planner on my phone. But today I had a doctor's appointment at 2. And then you texted me yesterday and was like, we still good
Oh,
for 2?
stop.
And I was like, yep, we make it happen. I was to call my doctor this morning. It's like, hey, could I get in earlier? It's
So
like,
you
we got a
so
10
you
o'clock.
still went? You still went to the doctor?
Yeah, I
Okay,
got
cool.
my 10, they moved it to 10. I was like, "Thank God we got, everything moving forward as it's supposed to. No more I wasn't gonna cancel anyway. I was, "Doc, tomorrow? What's up?"
Man, I am the king of overbooking, or as we call at my I think at my job that I was at before, we call it overcommitting. Where it's like, yeah, bro, I got you. Then you tell someone else, yeah, bro, I got you. Then you point to another person, you say, yeah, bro. And then before you know it, you committed to like 4 or 5 different things at the same time. You're like, oh snap. Like
Yeah.
somebody's about to get disappointed. So
Yeah.
yeah, bro, I definitely feel you. But yeah, bro, I definitely want to know about your past. But before I do, man, I want to talk about the Oklahoma scene. I've met you, I've met P. Rich, I've met who else? The brothers that were with you at the Belton event.
What are you talking about? Lost and Found and, Jose?
Not them. I thought they were they from Oklahoma?
They're from Belton.
Oh, they're from no, no, they're from Belton.
Oh, the guys that came with me.
Yes.
Oh, okay, O&E,
O&E, that's who it is. Yes.
yeah, and Mike
Palmer.
Palmer,
Yes,
Michael
sir.
Palmer.
Okay,
So
cool. It came
I'm
back.
less familiar with Michael Palmer, but I work kinda closely with O&E. We done a lot of stuff together.
Right. Yeah, definitely Jose, bro. That I talk about Jose all the time, bro, because he's the reason I'm even connecting with people like yourself, man. And in the CHH space, like I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know how to navigate it. I didn't even know how to cross over, bro. Like 14 years of doing music, man, and just now finding my way to CHH is crazy. But
Mhm.
Jose was someone who definitely inspired me. How did y'all meet? How did you and Jose meet?
Um, he messaged me. He must have come across one of my songs. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he hit me and was like, "We need to work." I was like, "Send me something."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually that, and that's usually why sometimes we don't end up working with people. Like sometimes it's like, "Hey, when you see something that I'll work, that you think I'll fit on, let me know,"
Right.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
And then you forget about it, and then you never end up sending them. But he actually, a couple months later, sent me a cipher. He's like, "I need 2 on this." So actually, me and my guy from Bigger Than Music, our group,
Hmm.
we both hopped on this cipher, and then he invited me to Belton. So we were kind of talking a little bit from that moment, and then
Right.
he invited me to Belton. So we connected a lot more. I invited him out to one of our events as well.
Yeah. And I know, yeah, I think that was recent, right? He went up there to and did like an outreach with y'all or an event with y'all.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was
Yeah,
awesome. Praise party in the park. Yeah.
that's right. And I know another brother I just did an episode with. Shout out to Alfred Henry. That we talked about you on the episode. Actually, we brought you up and we're talking about you on that. What is y'all's connection? You and Alfred?
Well, same thing. We met him there. He sent me like 2 or 3 tracks, I think, or it's 2. No, it's 3. And I was like, "Man, I gotta get on this one."
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Yeah, I got a spot for you right here." And
Mm.
so, it's called Let Me In. It's really dope. So I appreciate, artists that, wanna work together, but I tell them, like, I'm a little bit picky, so
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna just say yes to anything, but I will get on. I don't charge nobody.
Yeah.
I'll get on, but I gotta rock with it.
Absolutely. No, I 100% feel you. And the way I usually do it, man, when I send, like, if I want to send you a song, bro, I'll probably send you like 3 or 4 and be like, pick which one,
Yeah.
you want to do. And if you want to do more, hey, that's cool too. But I definitely like to give people options. Even when I'm doing like the bigger collabs, I do the same thing. And I'll send like with God's hands, like the 1K few thing and people like that. Like I'll send different beats and I'll even have the concept ready to go. And give them the option of picking which one they want to go with. Um, but yeah, that's usually how I do it too.
And that's a good thing, cause like, some people, they'll just like, "Hey, this the one I want you on," but, like, you might not feel it, but that's what the only one they give you, and, like, you're gonna force a verse on there, or you're gonna tell them no. And so for me, I'd rather, like, now when I was in the secular world, I was cool with that. I could force a You could force a verse onto anything, like, you could really make up anything,
Yes,
but, like, now it feels like, most of these songs are more spirit led, like, where's the spirit leading you? What is the song saying to you? Like, how can I get a good context and a message across? And some songs now, like, I can't. Like, there's like, I don't know where I can go with that. I can't touch that one. But like
absolutely.
now I gotta be a little more choosy on like where I go, so I make sure that it's effective.
Yes. My favorite type of style, to be honest with you, is like the more praise and worship style, like the R&B. That's what I grew up on. That's what I came in the secular space on. So
Mhm.
I like Alfred Henry's sound a lot. And the song that we're dropping tonight, Praises, is more of like a R&B hip hop type of vibe, which is like I said, that's what I love to do. Like I don't mind the rap, of course. But if I had my choice, like that's what you can send me. Anybody watching, like, that's what you send me. That's
Send them some R&B.
send me some praise and worship. I love it. But yeah, bro, let's dive into your past, man. I don't know too much about it, man. Kind of walk me through, bro. Like, start from where you want to start with and how you got to where you're at now, all the way up from childhood to high school to the secular world to the gospel world, man.
Sheesh. It's a very long story. Hopefully I don't
Bro,
skip too much.
hey, let's go.
When you don't prepare the testimony, it's sometimes you skip some
Hey,
stuff. No. But so like I grew up in Chicago. I lived there for about 13 years. Um from the kid till like I was 13.
yeah,
And my brother's 3 years older, and my family, my mom and dad were gangbangers. That's how they met. Crazy. Yeah, and most of my family was too.
mhm,
So I grew up around the gang banging and stuff. I never got involved in it, but I seen it around me a lot.
yeah,
I've seen my cousin when I was like 5 or 6 come in, rocks all up in his face, got because he got jumped out the gang. You know what I'm saying? Bloody, almost dying. My mom's like taking care of him. So I've seen a lot of that when I was growing up. My parents always took us to church and stuff, you know, uh, Catholic churches and stuff. But we're just kids, we're just playing, really no. But so they was all wrapped up in that. They finally got out when they started having us, and tried to get away from it. But we still lived in projects in Chicago, so you were around it.
yeah.
But fast forward, you know, my brothers, uh, I got a half brother, and he's Puerto Rican, black, and we're Italian and black. But you can't tell. I don't know why. But his dad
You
was
didn't get the melanin.
I didn't get it. But my mom is black and Indian and
Wow, bro.
white, and my dad's Italian. His dad was Puerto Rican, right? Well, anyways, he went to an all black school in Chicago,
Oh,
and
okay.
he was getting like beat up and jumped all the time because they thought they was like Saint Latin Kings or something. So him and his
Mm,
two friends was always getting jumped and shot at, and so we moved to Freeport, which was like a suburb outside of it. We was chilling there for a while. Cool. I met my girlfriend at the time when I was like 18. She was 17 or something. And that's who I'm with now.
okay.
Anyway, so we weren't saying nothing at this point. I've been rapping since I was like 13. My brother was making beats, his friends was making beats. I couldn't do it. So I was like, let me try rapping.
Yes.
Right. So me and her had been together for about a year, and her parents moved and left her there. Well, they gave her a choice. So she stayed with me. And then her grandparents invited us out here to Oklahoma. Right.
Mhm.
Took me a while to finally come around, but I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Different. It's a little different.
Crazy though. It's like when I look back on it all, you see God's hand in it all.
Yeah, man. Had to get you
I
out of
was
there,
supposed
bro.
to go to the military. I had 4 years ROTC. Um, I signed up for the Marines, and they told me I can't. I started having seizures like a year prior, and they told me my health I can't go. And then I got expelled from school that year, and then I ended up in my wife's class.
Wow.
Crazy, because I could have been. I was should have been in the military, right? But
Yeah.
But so anyways, we moved out here together, moved in right next in her grandma's house for about 2 years, and we lived right next door to a pastor.
Mm.
Intriguing.
Okay. I see where this is going. Okay.
So Uh, I was kind of, going downhill, like drinking, driving, going to casinos, spending all our money. Just I was absent all the time, and even when I was here, I would drinking and playing the game, drink until it was 3D, and
Bro.
then and ignoring her, like she wasn't partner no more. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was
Yeah,
just
man.
doing my thing. Anytime she talked to me, it was an argument.
Mm.
So she was kind of considering not marrying me no more.
Mm.
We already was like engaged at this point.
Okay.
Her grandparents was like, "Talk to this pastor, like, maybe we could do some premarital counseling, try to get this back on track."
Right.
So we started that. We did that for a while. I'm like, "This dude's tripping, whatever. All he doing is making us argue more with all these
Oh,
questions."
man. Yeah.
But after about a couple months of that, he led us through, like, a prayer of salvation. I was like, "Man, it's phony stuff." I've been in church my whole life, so I don't even know why I don't believe. It's not like
Right.
I don't believe I was an atheist, I just never thought about it.
Yes. Yes. That's how a lot
If
of
I
us are.
didn't care, I lived my life, whatever.
100%.
So then and I think at the point, I wasn't really doing it for her. I just kind of was going through the motions.
Yep.
And then then he's like, "How about like we get baptized?" That was a couple weeks after this prayer of salvation. Try to lead us through that. And I'm still drinking and smoking and whatever. Got baptized. I woke up the next day, cold turkey, no drinking, no smoking, no nothing.
Wow,
Like it
bro.
all like went away. And I was like, okay, this is real.
Yeah,
And
man.
like ever since that day, I've been also like kind of there was like three things in between this that's crazy. Like I told you I was drinking and driving. I
Mhm.
got pulled over 3 times, drunk. Cops told me to pull my car over and they took me home. And then I think about this when I fast forward. When I did get saved, when we got married, the church started letting us help with stuff, and I became like a driver, picking up the kids and stuff. And we
Yeah,
helped with their
man.
homeless, like helping build the homes and stuff, and like stuff like that. Crazy is I'm thinking back and I'm like, man, if I would have got a DUI, I wouldn't have been able to pick these kids up. And I did that for like 3, 4 years before like the church shut down during COVID. I was like, "Man," and you look back and, like, he led me here with my wife, made her become my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, all this things that
Yeah, man.
transpired. Like, his hand was in all of this. This
Yeah,
wasn't,
man.
like, by chance or nothing like that, and I tell people all the time, like, you can't really convince people, like, by arguing the Bible or, they say the Bible's for, like, people who have the Holy Spirit and the Holy Spirit kinda shows us what it means when we read. It's hard for us to be like, "Well, the Bible says," to an atheist.
Right.
Because they don't believe in the Bible, so they don't care what it says.
Yep.
So in the end of the day, I realized in that moment, it's you come to Jesus once you have a moment of understanding or like he touched your life in some type of way that you understand like this is real, he's real.
Yeah. That
Our
experience.
job is to plant those seeds, spread some love, and hopefully he draws them in.
Yeah.
Right. So like and that's what I learned at that moment is everything that all these pastors and everything that been telling me is like is to lead me to this moment.
It's
And
all coming
now,
back. Yeah.
yeah, now,
Yeah.
and then I get saved and everything that like I thought I wasn't listening to. I'm in
Mhm.
all these classes, not paying attention, talking, whatever. And I'm knowing all this knowledge, like it's just coming back to me.
Yep.
My wife's like, "How do you even know that?" I was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "We can look it up. I know it's right." And then we'll look it up, and she's like, "Dang." And we both got saved same time, got baptized same time. So like we both didn't really go to church together. She's like, "How the heck you know all this stuff?"
Yeah.
But they said the Holy Spirit will bring it to you when you need it. So
Right.
right. So, anyways, we got saved, and then didn't really know too much to do from there. My dad and my mom separated before I moved. He was cheating and stuff, moved in with somebody else.
Mhm.
And, this was a big driving force for me after this moment because I called him, I was like, "Hey, I got saved, I'm getting married, I need you to be here, trying to
And
reconcile this relationship, blah, blah, blah," you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't really talked to him since they split and I moved. I don't know if I was, like, butthurt or whatever,
yeah, of
but,
course.
um, he dies, like, a week before our wedding,
Oh, man.
and, I don't know if he was gonna show up or not, but regardless, it was like, everything that is put in front of us is some type of learning from it. Like it's a life lesson. What God, what do you want me to learn from this? Right.
Right. Yeah.
Even when we do something to ourselves, like when we do something stupid and something that consequence comes, like what have you learned?
Yeah.
And try not to
Exactly,
do that
bro.
again, right? Like there's a
Exactly.
lesson in almost everything that we do or
Yes.
encounter.
Yes.
So in this moment, I'm seeing all these people, and you see it all the time. People will post, "He's in a better place."
Right.
I'm just getting saved, and I'm knowing my dad wasn't.
Mm.
I don't know if he ever did.
Right.
I don't know. But what I
Yeah.
do know is what hurt me worse than him dying was not knowing where he's at.
You never got to talk to him about it.
Never.
Yeah.
I told him I was saved. I told him I need to see him at my wedding, and that was like probably maybe a month and a half, and then about a week before he died. So like it was like not. I should have probably tried sooner, but I thought I had time, and that's another thing we don't realize. We don't have time.
You know I know, bro. You know I know, bro. Yeah.
We don't have the time. Well, now I'm 40 and,
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
settling down. I'll hunker down and
I
I'll
know
give
all
my
too
life to
well.
God. I wanna live my youth out, and people think that, but we don't know
Yeah.
when our time is coming.
Man, bro.
And so that was a driving force for me. You got 2 ways to go, like, let it beat you down, don't believe in God, blame him.
Mhm.
Use that as a influence to help other people reach God or understand, come to God before it's their time. And that was a driving force for me. I was like, "I'm going full force this way.
Yeah, bro.
Stop the secular music." I actually was just about to drop a secular album. I threw away all of it, and I
Yes,
started
bro.
Christian music that week.
Same.
Yeah, so and like you said, it was hard because,
Yeah,
like,
man.
even my first album that I did, it was mixed with secular themes, and, like,
Okay.
it was hard not to talk it was talking about God, but then some of it was bragging and,
Right.
like, competition, like, "Oh, I'm the best," and you're like, "What are you really doing?" And, like, second album came around, and you start getting better, and like you
Yeah.
said, you take breaks and stuff and
Yeah.
reload, and every time I come back stronger and better.
Yes,
You
man.
take those, like, breaks, I'll make, like, 5, 6 songs, 7 songs, and then I won't do nothing for 4 months. I come back
Exactly.
5, 6, 7 songs, and they're better than the last ones.
Man, bro. That's
And
how we
so
gotta do. That's how we gotta be, man. It's all what God tells us to do, man. If he tells you to chill out, you gotta chill out. If he tells you to keep going, hey, I'm all in.
yeah, and so, like, I don't know if there's any too much that I missed, but at the end of the day, that was a driving force for me, and here we are now,
And you
coming here. Oh, God brought me to Oklahoma to do
oh,
ministry.
bro, Oklahoma, we're probably what, 3, 4 hours apart? Not even?
About
Maybe
yeah, about 3.5, I think
3
was
and a
the
half?
drive.
It's crazy because it seems like, Texas is hard to get, especially if you're going east or west. Like, it takes probably, I think, 6 hours to get out of Texas, like, making a drive to Atlanta or stuff like that. Like, half the drive is Texas. But going north, like, to Oklahoma, I know that's not a bad drive. So, definitely, I think I wanted to make it out to your event, that y'all just did, but I wasn't able to, obviously, with work and family and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, man, you mentioned starting music at 13. And what year was it, or how long have you been doing gospel music, total?
I got saved when I was 20,
Okay.
and well, no, I was older. I was about 22.
Mhm.
So I've been doing gospel music about 8 years then.
Okay.
It don't feel like that long. I was about to say like 5, and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah,
Bro, yeah.
it's about 8 years now.
Well, even for me, man, like I tell you, like I posted yesterday, man, this is year 1 for me, and I've been doing music going on, I recorded my first song on my 18th birthday, literally that day. So, from 18, I'm just turned 33. So, 15 years, that window has been secular, and then this past year, CHH. Like, it took that long. So, when I see people, thinking about it, or they're, they're kinda like they talk about God a lot, but they're still doing, like, a lot of things, like, secular and, worldly, and still making the type of music that they made. I'm like, "Bro, just let it go." Like, let it go. There's nothing out there, man. It's not worth it, man. And like you said, it just flies by. Like, this whole year was such a I was thinking about it earlier when I was driving over here too. Like, I was like, "Man, it's been such a blur." Like, I remember starting out hot. Like, I came out with 3 videos back to back to back, and then there's, like, a window where I didn't really do too much, and and I don't even remember, like, why. Like, I don't know what happened during that time. I know I was focused on God, and obviously family. But like it's like a blur to me. And then like obviously we did the God's Hand song in June, July. And then ever since then it's just flown by. Like it's been crazy. Like the events, doing events, obviously the one we did together, and stuff like that. But it seems like it was just yesterday and it's been months. Like it's been so man, I can imagine what it feels like for someone who's been doing it for a while. And I can't wait to see what 2025 is coming up, bro, and I can't wait, bro. This year has been so powerful. Just the people that I've got a chance to meet and connect with, and it always reminds me. I always tell people 2012 was like that year for me. Like that's when I was coming in. That's when I fully committed to music. Like I want to do this, and obviously it wasn't for God, but in my head it was. Like I still had the positive morals and things like that, but I was
Mm.
like, this is what I want. I want to do music. So I went all in. I started, networking with people, getting features and stuff like that. And so this year reminded me of that kid that in 2012, that 21-year-old, um, that was really passionate, like, cause that fire kinda dwindled for me too. I still loved it, but I didn't know, like, where to go with it. Like, I knew I didn't wanna do certain things, and I stopped completely in 2018. I was like, "I don't wanna do like this, man. I can't." And
Yeah.
then to come back in 2019, 20 to start my way back into CHH, and then this year to fully commit to it. Like you got saved or baptized then. I got rebaptized at the end of last year just to fully dedicate myself outwardly, show people like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. This is, for Jesus now. And man, it's it's been crazy, bro. Like I'm so grateful, man, to be doing this right here, to be doing music. But yeah, bro, I feel you 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy where he'll take you, man. If you're willing to let him lead, he gonna take you some places.
Yeah, bro. And that's
Yeah,
the
for
I
sure.
think that's the hardest thing to do is whenever you're trying to come over and you don't know how to do that. Like you don't know how to just let it go. Like sometimes you just gotta let go, man. Sometimes you just gotta give it to God and say, okay, God, whatever you decide to do with this, I'm all for it. And that's what I was talking about. Yesterday, I think I had posted a comment. Said, man, wherever he decides to take me, whatever this does or musically, um, yeah, bro, I'm down for whatever. I'm down, for as long as God is leading it, I'll go wherever he wants me to go. It's like in the book of Isaiah where he says, send me, I'll go.
So, and you know why it's so hard to convert
Mm.
is from that type of realm? Think like the main focus in most hip hop is pride.
Yeah, yeah,
You think like they're talking about my this, my
yeah,
that, my girls, my money, my drugs, my house, my
yeah,
I'm the best to ever do it.
yeah.
And that's the main thing.
Self, yeah,
Self and his pride. And what was Satan?
yeah, prideful, yeah,
He thought he was better. He
yeah,
thought, you know what I'm saying? And that's the core secular theme.
yeah, man,
And it's crazy. We don't think about that. And that's why it's so hard to switch because, when you're switching to CHH, it's more of humbling and
yeah,
giving of self. And
yeah,
you're fighting that urge too that you had for 12 years talking about self
mhm.
and boosting and boasting on self.
That's why counting me out was so important to me, man. And I
Mhm,
remember writing it, like
mhm.
I remember the day I wrote it, and I was just like, "Ooh." 'Cause I felt it from me just saying like, man, I remember people even when I told people I was coming to CHH, like, I told people like, "Yeah, Imma start doing music again, bro, like, I'm on fire for I'm doing it for God this time." Like, "Man, you've been doing it for this long and nothing." I didn't blow up. I didn't, I was like, "Man, I don't care, like, Imma do it, like, I'm really gonna do this." So, that's what the song is about, man, is people were really telling me, like, not to do it almost, don't go back to music or, like, giving me the eye roll, like, if I told him I was
Yeah.
doing CHA, just kinda like, "Oh, here he go, because I stopped a couple times, and people know me, man, people know I'm passionate about music, like, I'm a sicko when it comes to music, I'll hit the road I'll go to Atlanta right now and shoot a video and come right back like nothing happened. So like, but I've always been like that, man. I love grinding. I love the music. It's what I don't do anything else, bro. Like, I literally don't have any other desires than doing this. Like, this is what I love to do. So I'm fully committed to it. And I know people see that, but like I said, when I was coming back and I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, they're kind of like, oh man. It's like, no, but that's what counted me out, man. I left the world and got with God because I had to leave that stuff behind. I had to leave, like, anything that I was once thinking about, 'cause I remember, bro, like, in 2015, 'cause it's right before I got married, I was, like, 25. You know, once you start getting older, and you haven't made it yet, it's kinda like a panic starts to set starts to set in a little bit. So, it's like, "Man, I gotta do something." So, I lost my way a lot, but that could man, that's a huge testimony, like, you lose yourself because you're so focused on what you wanna do, and what the world can give you that you'll lose everything, and so from 2015 to 18, I was, like, on this horrible, like, cringe journey, like, I started doing things that I would have never done prior, um,
Mhm.
and then 2018 was where I caught myself, and I was like, "Man, what am I doing, man?" Like, I was like, "I can't do this no more," and, of course, I was even older then, so I'm just like, "Man, I'm done." Like, cold turkey,
Yeah.
like you said, I'm done. I did that back in 2011 too, before I even started doing positive music. I was about to drop an album, so I felt that. I had a whole box of CDs, and the mixtape was called
Yeah.
Ecstasy, and it was, like, nothing but lustful songs. The cover was egregious, like so I had a box, and I remember, my friend showed me a story, and I don't know if I've talked about it on here yet, but it's about a little girl that died, saw what she saw in hell, and it wasn't the fact that I believed the story, it just caught my attention, and I was just like, "Oh, yeah, like, there is a God, there is Jesus, there is a heaven, there is a hell, like, I need
Yeah.
to stop." And so, like, I did like you,
Mm.
I had a box and I just dumped it all in the dumpster, got rid of it, and stopped doing music for a long time, after that, like and then I came back and I started doing positive, but then it started to sway, because 'cause you're still doing worldly music. It's so hard, bro, like, I was trying to do positive music and keep everything clean and
Yeah.
be the positive rapper, but it always has its way of going left, and you don't even catch it right away because you let one thing slide or you let a couple things go, and then pretty soon you're opening that door, and then all of a sudden you lose yourself, and then so I had to bring myself back, and that's why I tell people now, like, if I were to quit right now, like, there's no coming back, bro, like, there's no reason to. So this is like, I'm all in, like, CHH, I said it in God's hands, CHH, I got your back. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here, like, I'm not going nowhere, there's nothing out there. I testified a lot, and I think I even said it on the Holy Gabbana interview, man, and we were talking about it, and I was just like, "Man, there's nothing out there for you, like, there's no reason for you to even have that thought of going back, or if you're young and may not even experience it yet, there's nothing out there for like, stay here, man. God will take you places that the world can't take you, and the world will give you temporary pleasure, for a night, for a season, but it will be taken away, and when it's taken away, you're not gonna like it. So God won't take it away, man. We are locked in, we are saved through the blood of Jesus, man, and we just gotta stay
Right.
focused, bro. That's where the stay focused came from, bro. I'm telling you. I was telling myself, like, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta stay focused, man, because I was like you, man. I was a drinker. I was I wasn't a drunk. Like, I didn't really push my but it was every day. Every day was bottles, bro, like bottles. And finally, man, I think me and Alfred talked about it too. It's like once you like get out of that, like I don't even think about drinking anymore. Like I don't even there's some
Uh-uh.
people that will advocate and say, man, it's okay to have a drink, it's okay to do it a little bit here and there. And I'm like, yeah, you might be right. But here's the thing, like once you come from that, it's like I don't even want to indulge in that. Like I don't want to even
Yeah.
try it because I know there's no good in it.
Yeah.
So, like, people can say that and they can have that opinion, but for me, I don't think I'll ever say that. Like, I don't think I would ever tell someone, "Man, it's okay to have one," because you don't know what that person's, what
Yeah.
what what it could lead them to. So,
Right.
nah, I would rather stay away from it completely. Um, like, we did have some because we did Passover, and so I did have some wine, like, during Passover just because of Passover, but other than that, nah, I'm cool. Like, even when we go to a restaurant, bro, I'm like, "Give me a water or a soda or something," that's literally what I stick to now, so, um, but yeah, bro, now you dropped a lot of music, ever since you've done gospel music, So what is something that, what is your favorite project? What is something that you've done that's just like, man, that was super inspired by God and something that you hold dearly that you've done so far?
I stopped doing projects per se.
Mm,
My last one that I've done was called Work of Art, and
okay.
that was I think that was my first leap into, I guess, the next growth pattern because they just
Mhm.
kind of been, I had like 3 albums out before that.
Yeah,
I did one prior, but I never put it out. That's the one that I was telling you is kind of
right, right.
rocky. But
Absolutely.
I think Work of Art, and I love the picture that they made. It's kind of like pieces like a picture and, like,
Mhm.
pieces are missing and there's, like, moss growing on the head.
Yeah, bro.
It's just like an imperfect picture, and that's what we
Yep,
really are is
absolutely.
God's trying to mold us into, like, something that looks like him or like the word or don't read the word. They think that if you do that as a Christian, if you can cuss at me like that, or if you can do that, or you can make this mistake, "Pastor, you cheated on your wife. Why should I become a Christian?"
Oh,
And they look at us. The Bible literally tells us, we are
man.
going to fail you every single time.
Yes.
But so I think that was the biggest step forward for me was realizing I'm not perfect. I'm nowhere near and I don't need to be. And like a lot of the music was trying to focus too much on self
Yeah, that's
before. And I think realizing that and then that was easier for me to take my step forward.
right.
So that album was cool, and then ever since then, I've just kinda been doing singles, and, like, it's been really helping my growth doing one every month and just dropping them like that, so I got over 100 songs, I think, out online, and I got, like, 8 in the clip.
Bro,
So, I've just been doing that for the last 2 years, and I haven't done an album at all. I just been
so
doing them at
is that what you think that's what you'll continue to do? You don't have any projects, like, in mind right now? You're just gonna kinda let it work out and it whenever the time comes, I
make
guess?
make a song and drop it. Well,
Uh,
and I've been doing that the whole time anyways, even with work of art and stuff, I'll
man.
drop one, and then I'll have 5 or 6 that I didn't drop, and I'll just drop the whole album together,
Yeah,
and then it'll just bunch them up, right?
right.
But but at the end of the day, I've noticed that when I drop more than 1 or 2 at a time, a few of them won't even get play.
Oh, okay.
Like people,
Yeah,
like, I don't know, short attention spans or I
right.
don't know what it is, but when I drop 1, it automatically is popping.
Right, and
So
I feel you because I was like that, bro. I no one I'll say it all the time, no one loves putting together projects like me, like, I love doing it, but at the same time, I had to that's what I did this year, like, I haven't dropped my debut CHH album yet, like, I haven't dropped that, and I'm waiting because, like you said, man, I had a hard time with patience. Patience is, like, my biggest, flaw, I think, that God had to really work on. That's what this year was, man. That's what this year was for me. It's just God working on my patience and kinda helping me relax a little bit, because I was the type of person, like, record a song, put it out, record a project, put it out, not have nothing in the tank, just put it out, and then hoping that like, did what it was supposed to do,
Mhm.
and then come back with some more. So now it's more of, like, consistent, um I never had a catalog to choose from either. I never had like, okay, I recorded 100 songs. Let me pick the best 10. No, it was like, I got 10, boom, here's 10.
Drop them.
I got 12, here's 12, boom. That's how
Yeah.
it was. And I've always done it like that. Every project that I dropped, like, it wasn't like these are my best. This is what I have. So it
Yeah.
was kind of a good thing. And looking back, it's like, dang, like those songs were good. But man, just imagine if I would have had more to pick from. And, like, with the album that I'm working on now, kind of, at least when the time comes, it's like, man, I just want it to be so perfect, like, impactful. I don't want it to just be like, "Oh, here's 10 songs, here y'all go."
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I want it to mean something, like, the theme, everything I want it to fit, so that's kinda like I'm like you right now, like, every 2 weeks, I'm dropping a song, or video even, um
Mhm.
but in between that, I might do a surprise drop. I might drop something, on the Friday in between or whatever. But yeah, man, it was just about like I want to make as much music as possible, and the ones that the ones that I feel like will make an impact on somebody, the ones that I feel like people can relate to, that's what I'm gonna put out and shoot a visual to it and all that. So
Yeah. Promotes and
patience,
stuff.
yeah, just like a different it was like a different, way of doing things for me, something I had never done before. I had never, like I said, I was project. I thought putting out projects was the goal, so I
It
might
it
start.
I think it was for a long time, and
Yeah.
I think that's where I swayed away from because I the only reason why I was even creating albums and album covers and creating CDs was because that's what was happening when we were young. But, like, I would make my first album that I made 100 copies, and I forgot where I got them, like, online somewhere or something. I
Mhm.
made 100 copies. Cool. Sold probably about 20,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
At 80 something something, I just start giving them away, whatever.
Right.
And I put my phone number in there, and that's how I met actually a few artists that I worked with.
Okay.
Some of them liked it and they hit me up, but just put my phone number, email, whatever. It's like whatever, handed them out to artists and different people.
Yeah.
Then I did my couple albums, then by that time we bought like our own printer that can do them. So then
Mm.
now I make my own, right? 2 or 3 albums in a row. I started making less and less. I did 30 and then I did 20. This last one I did 15. I was able to sell the 20 and the 15, and now there's some stores out here that will sell them for me. So, like, I've been able to put them up and they sell them for me. I even s but I realized people are getting away from CDs. So this actual last 2 years, I haven't made one at all. Like, I just was like, "Let me just go straight singles." There's really no
Yeah.
point in me making CDs and selling them. I think that was, like, when we grew up on, but I think just, like, the world's even 80% of the people that told me they liked my music and wanna buy it, they said their cars only are Bluetooth now.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, I don't even have a CD player, bro, like, those are obsolete, and, like, so now I'm like, what's the point of a project?
Yeah, and the younger generation definitely missed the CD era. Like, that's
R
when I came in, obviously in the CD era, and I remember going to South by Southwest and passing out CDs and then, hand to hand, and I was like you, $5, $10 free, just passing them out, and then I South by Southwest is so disheartening, like, especially for a new artist because 'cause you're passing out CDs, and you'll walk down a few blocks, and you'll see your CD on the ground. Like, somebody took it from you, like, "Oh, yeah, bro," and then probably just dropped it. It's just down. It's just on the ground. "Hey, wait a minute." You pick it up and give it somebody else, but I remember that era, bro, like 2012, 2013, like, I think I went, like, 2 or 3 years in a row, and then after that, I was like, "Man, this ain't for me no more." Like,
Yeah.
I kinda had my fix, but yeah, the CD era, I remember pressing up, man, for my No Regrets album, I pressed up, like, 1,000 copies. Pressed up like 1,000
Dang.
copies, and then, shout out to Flipside, he's the one that pressed them up for me, yeah. So, bro, I was working at Whataburger at the time, and I would pass them through the window, like, I had on, like, a stack right here, I was in the window, and I had, like, a stack of CDs, and like, "Hey, you listen to rap?" And be like, "Yeah." I'd be like, "You listen to, Kevin Gates?" 'Cause I had the song, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Check this out." Like, I would even put it in the bag and be like, "Here you go, bro." Like, so I did that for a while, and then, but there would be people there's somebody to this day, bro, I don't know his name, but when he sees me, he's like, "Man, I remember you passing out CDs at Whataburger." I'm like, "Yeah, bro," like, so the grind was always in me, bro, like, I always found a way to do it, man, but, yeah, the CD era was crazy. Now that's what we had to get used to, though, we had to get used to the streaming era, we had to get used to, cutting off CDs and going the internet, the digital route, and
Yeah.
like you said, man, it's harder because it's like, okay, if I put out an album, it's like you know how much work an album, goes into an album. So
Yeah.
when you do that and you only get a few streams or only like 5 people buy it or 10 people buy it, you're just like, dang, like all that months of work, all that money that you put into it, time, especially the time, um, and to not have people listen to it is so like, it can kill your motivation, and
Yeah, I
so
seen, like I look at the stats and I was like I had
yeah,
20
bro.
songs on my first album, and I'm like, I think, like, the first 12 had hundreds of views, like, I was just
Right,
starting off. They had
right.
hundreds, and then the other one said 0. I was
Mm,
like, obviously, like, either they didn't like these first 12
mhm,
or, they moved on to something else,
right.
and I just put too much on here.
Yeah. I just started kinda and then coming into CHH space, there's so much, the short form content is heavy. Like, I noticed that
Mhm.
too. That's something I never
Yeah.
was big on either. So I had to adjust to that. And so it's always an adjustment process. Obviously, even the older generation, they had to adjust from cassette tapes to CDs, then CDs to digital. And I don't know what it's going from here, but it's just always an adjustment process for us as when it comes to being an artist and a musician trying to make a living off of this. Because obviously, I mean, we both have jobs outside of this. We both have to support it some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely hard. So if you don't really love it, man, you've seen a lot of people, they don't last too long.
Yeah, cause yeah, like you said, there's a lot of time, effort, money put into it, like, just to make a song, pay I don't know if you record yourself, but just to pay for studio, pay for a beat, yeah, there's a
I
lot.
I used to record myself. I don't like doing it anymore because I feel like I get distracted easy. So like, so, so if I go in to record a song, I'll get distracted, and that song that'll take me 20 minutes in a studio would take me 3 days at home. So, I'd rather
Yeah,
go to see Walkers, man, and lock in for a couple hours and get like 5 or 6 songs done rather than recording myself and just not getting as much done. As far as beat making, that's something I've never done, and like you said, man, it was just not for me. Not yet anyways. Maybe I don't know what the future holds, but
mm,
that's one thing I never did. I mixed myself, I recorded myself, I did a lot of my albums myself. Um, Obviously now I'm starting to shoot videos and stuff, so
right,
that's something I've tried to learn just to kinda cut costs too, man, like, make an investment, but it's a one-time investment, and then, try to use that to cut costs elsewhere because it does get expensive and it does get, I put myself in a lot of holes over the years, a lot of a lot of debt holes that were hard to get out of, man, so definitely don't wanna do that again, but, we
yeah,
love it so much and we're so passionate about it, man, that it's hard not to. It's hard not to.
yeah,
I'll be the first one to say that.
and honestly, yeah, like you said, it'd be dope to make a living off of it, but, like,
Mhm.
that's not even my end game, like, if it happens, it
Right,
happens, like, I just
right,
love to do it regardless,
right.
and then secondly, besides the love and the passion for it, I feel like that's one of my biggest avenues to plant seeds.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a ministry, music
Yes.
ministry type thing, because you know, people connect to certain songs, and when they connect to it, it helps them with moods, whether it's a sad song, happy song, hype, or whatever. It might help
Yep,
them, dance to it. It might help them get out of a slump they're in. Like, music is
absolutely.
a great thing. So it's good that we could provide that for somebody. And then on top of that, there's people that will message you. "Hey, I really like that. And then can you pray for me?" Like, a lot of stuff opens up through that. So I love it as that part alone. Now, if something else comes of it, great.
Absolutely. Everything else
Right.
is a
Just
bonus.
for that alone, I'm gonna do it as long as I have the of words to say. As long as God gives me words to put on a beat.
Man, and when I think about it too, it's like I did secular music for 14 years and didn't make a dime of profit at least,
Yeah,
so why wouldn't I do it for God the same way? Like why wouldn't I expect anything why would I expect anything different? And
yeah,
like you said, man, if I do get to that point to where I can really focus on just that, and that would be a blessing. But at the same time, it's like you said, man, we can't be like, oh, I did it for 14 years and didn't make a dime. Now I'm expecting to. So it's like I'm still all in. Like whatever happens,
yeah,
happens. And like you said, it's a full blown ministry. I think P. Rich said it too. On our episode, it's a full blown ministry, bro. And people, I think, don't realize it sometimes. We make the music, but people are listening. And when people listen, like you said, you could impact somebody through music. You make a song and they needed to hear that seed was planted, and the same thing with the podcast, and, I never forget, bro, like, every time I was on the brink of giving up, like, cause it would happen even this past year, like, I'm like, "Man, I just don't know, God, like, maybe this ain't what you want me to do," and he would, like, show me, like, literally, this just happened too. I was, like, on the verge of stopping, and, the next day, somebody came up to me and was like, "Bro, I watched the episode with Pat, and it really inspired me. It was motivating to me, and I'm just looking at him like I almost started crying because I was like, "Bro, I needed that." Like, bro, and I looked up and I was just like, "Thank you, God," because I felt like that was his sign, his way of showing me like, "No, don't give up. Like, you're
sure,
doing
Colin.
yeah, it's your calling." It's like and I always felt it. Like, I always felt like there's no way I would be doing this. Even music, like, there's no way I would still be doing music at this point. There's no way
Mm,
because I know what I put into it. I know what I haven't gotten back from it. So it's like, if I was doing it for any other reason than God, there's no way I would still be doing it, bro. Like, there's no
yeah,
way. So now it's like, okay, yes, I love it. Yes, I genuinely love music. I love making the music. I love everything about it. But there's things I hate about it too. Don't get it twisted. Especially the politicking and
Politics.
bro, the politics and dealing with certain people. But anyway, uh, if it wasn't for God, bro, I would be like, you know what? It's not worth it, bro. I'm all out.
Yeah.
I'm focused on my 3 babies and my wife and call it a day and go play NCAA 25. Um, which I still haven't played yet. So yeah,
Dang.
yeah, bro.
I haven't
I
touched that neither. I play 2K.
I was like you though. I was a gamer. I would stay up till the sun came up and play. And that's the reason I didn't play it because I know me. I've said it before. I know me, bro. If I would have went
Mhm.
out and bought that game that I've been waiting on for 11 years, all this stuff would have been like in the back burner. Like my focus would have been thrown off. I would be on the game and I'd be like, one more, now one more. And bro, I know me. So I haven't touched it. I don't even have a PS5. I don't want one because I know me and I know my past. And I so yeah,
So
I'm all my focus is on this. So anything that's gonna sway me from that, yeah, I don't want no part of it right now.
I'm telling you, like, I feel like God's trying to convict me, like, lately to get rid of it. Cause
Man.
like, the last, like, 6 months, I've been feeling it, like, sell it, like, having thoughts. I'm like, "Ain't no way." I'm talking myself out of it, but, like, get rid of it. But, like, that is probably my biggest distraction still, like, no I'm better because, like, I used to just come home, drink, game.
Oh.
Now I wait till, like, my wife sleep, kids are in bed, and I'll still do it. I don't drink, or I'll still game for, like, 3, 4 hours or
Yeah.
sometimes I'll do that and then I'll try to rush and do errands and I'll end up not getting to something. I'm like, but I like what you said too, because I feel the same way when you was talking about like the gaming and the drinking. You kind of both said kind of same thing that I feel too. Like people would say that stuff to me, like, bro, it's not saying you can do at least one, and it's all about knowing yourself, like
Yeah.
what you can and can't handle.
Yeah, man.
I'm scared. I'm literally people don't realize,
Mhm.
like if you came from that,
Mhm.
whatever you came from, whatever God pulled you from, like that's what I'm scared to go back to because they had me.
Absolutely.
And when you got baptized, it didn't free me from everything. It freed me from the worst of me.
Right.
And then now God's trying to help me through some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
But like if I were to indulge myself in that, like you said, the game, you already know you gonna get on there too much. Now he ain't break me of that yet, but as far as the drinking, I could relate because like if I took a sip, I would drink till I pass out type drink.
Mm.
I can't just do one drink. So like I'm like people say that. I'm like, I know me and I'm scared of going back to that because I don't know if I could just do one.
Right.
Then I'd do one night with you, get drunk, toasted. Now I'm back on an addiction.
The
God
relapse.
pulled me from that once. I don't know if how it's gonna work a second time.
Yeah, man.
And so, like, I'm definitely scared to fall back into that. But
Yeah.
smoking was a little bit easier to quit, but, like, I'm definitely scared of the drinking part.
I get that, and I've had a few drinks, like, not recently, but, like, since then, and, like, it was kinda like a test because like, me and my wife went on vacation, and, like, we had, like, some little drink like, the little drinks or whatever, and I was like, "Okay, I wanna see," and I didn't feel like I needed more, like, I wasn't tempted, at least afterwards, like, maybe while I was drinking, I'm like, "Man, I'll go get another one," but it was like, "Okay," but still I know me, and I know what
Yeah.
like I said before, you open that door
Mhm.
and what it can lead to, and so I just would rather not. That's
Yeah.
that's really what it comes down to is I would rather not. So if someone like I go my wife's Hispanic, so I'll go to, like, a party or something with them, and, like, their uncles will bring me a beer, which I'm not a beer drinker anyway, I never was, so that's another problem.
Yeah.
I wasn't a beer drinker, I was liquor and, like, the wine cooler type. So, like, he'll
Yeah.
bring me a beer, and I'm just like, "No, I'd rather not." Like, I'd rather not. Because, yeah, like you said, man, we know ourselves, we know our bodies, we know everything that we're capable and incapable of. And especially when it comes to gaming, bro, if I were to get that game, bro, I'd be in here playing the game rather than working on some ministry stuff, working on some music or
Imma
probably
cancel the podcast, NCAA calling my name today,
become a
Jake.
become a game streamer. Yes.
Uh-oh, Twitch, young Twitch.
Man, and some people do it. Some people do both. Some people can juggle both, bro. I know me, bro. And I was I would be like the type like you said, I was working overnight, so I would come home and start playing the game. My kids would be in the other room playing. And so you hear something like, hey, like you sitting there playing the game, you don't even get up, you just keep going.
Mhm.
It's man, I know me. I'm good. I'm focused.
Yeah, and that's good. It's good, that he could pull us from that, and
Yeah, man.
we gotta,
Yeah.
kinda let him lead us ahead
That's
forward.
it. That's
Yeah,
it.
I think that's my biggest thing now is he's trying to get me away from that a little bit. I think I've been getting them thoughts.
Yeah, bro.
I've been fighting them.
No, and I would get convicted too, like, cause I bought it's funny because before NCAA 25 came out, I bought a PlayStation 3 just so I could play NCAA. That's how much I love that's I just want people to know that's how much I love the game, so that's to show you that I'm willing to not play it for that reason. So I bought a PlayStation 3 just so I can play, like, NCAA '09 or whatever, like, back in
Mhm.
the day, and so but I would feel convicted too, I'm like, cause even though let's say I stay on the game for 3 hours, that's 2 or 3 hours I could have been that's a whole song right there, like, I could have wrote, a whole song or
Mhm.
whatever, whatever. So, those thoughts would always creep in, and slowly I started being like, "Okay, yeah, I don't even wanna try this anymore," because, yeah, it's okay to have fun, it's okay to have a hobby, but when you just overdo it and it distracts you from your calling and nah, bro, I'd just rather not. Like I come back to, I'd just rather not.
Yeah, facts,
That's what it comes down
facts.
to, bro. What are you working on now? Do you have a plan on dropping anything soon?
December 13th, Kingdom's coming out.
Oh,
New track, fire. Very lyrical,
yeah, man.
kinda upbeat hype, but, that's coming out. I got about, like I said, I think 6 or 7 in the clip.
Okay.
I got, DJ Wayne Michael. I don't know if you've heard of
Yeah,
him.
bro. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he just dropped a project. I'm on a song or 2 over there. I know
Okay.
for sure Up Above, so that just came out, uh, and he just dropped, I don't know, like 14 to 16 songs, so people could check that out too, but I'm on a song called Up Above with Riley Juna.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he snapped on there
Y
too. It was
yeah.
really nice. It
Definitely
was very nice.
gotta check that.
But there's a lot of heat on that he it's kinda crazy that he does that. I like it though. Like, I'm not saying in a bad crazy, like it's a good
Right, right,
crazy,
right.
right?
Right.
Bro is not asking nobody for no money.
Before
He gets these beats and he's like reaches out to 70,000 artists and tries to get like a big collaborative album together,
DJ Khaled of the CHH. Let's
I
go.
know. I'm
Let's
like, what?
go.
I'm like crazy. And then he got now, I've been putting him on. We've been all talking to him about like the artist mapping and like, cause he's talking about like the numbers that haven't been rising in there and
Right.
stuff. Like not in a bad way. He's like, hey, you guys ain't promoting them. It's like if you did the artist mapping, it would probably help our fans come to that page.
Ooh, okay. See, there's a lot of things out there, bro, that I have to like discover too. Like things that'll help, grow without having to blow the bank and, just
Oh,
organically grow.
so you could still do this for all the songs in your past. So like, you could link your song
Mhm,
to God's Hands
mhm.
to the other artist that is on it. So
Okay.
their fans will see your page now.
Okay. I need to
Yeah,
do
so it's
that.
called artist mapping. So like you just
Okay.
and if the song's already out,
Mhm.
you can just email them and be like, "Hey," so like you should be able to go to his page and see the song. So like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
you should be able to see it on your page. But
Okay.
if it's just like a feature,
Right.
you'll only see it on your page
Right.
if you posted it.
See, I knew that part. Okay, yeah, that makes sense
Okay.
because I know the one we're dropping
Yeah.
tonight. The one we're dropping tonight is gonna be on Love Leah's page too. So I'm
Okay.
excited, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited for all the new music. Just to be able to roll it out because like I worked on it hard this summer. That's when I my grind is like during the winter. Man, I hate cold weather. I hate it. Just makes me not want to do nothing. So summertime comes, I'm like, let's go, and like let's do what we can and roll it out. And so that's what we're on now. Every 2 weeks, man. Every 2 weeks, I'm dropping something new, and maybe even in between. So we definitely need to do some work. I will say, actually, matter of fact, once I get off of here, I'm gonna see what I got, and I'm just so I'm be like, y'all don't put it off, man, because I know how it is. I know, like, yeah, bro, we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something, and then months go by, and it's like we still ain't done nothing. So and
Yeah.
it's nothing to come to Oklahoma and link up with you, brother. So, we definitely have to connect soon. But yeah, man, I definitely want to shine light on your music, on your testimony. Thank you for sharing that with me. Do you have any events coming up? At least in our
Uh,
area, do you have any Texas events coming up?
no, I
No?
actually don't have any lined up. I don't schedule anything,
It's okay.
these next 3 months because don't never know how the weather's gonna be, so I don't like to travel.
I understand that.
I really just do it kinda more spring, fallish, summer,
Hey,
so
100% understand because I do not I'm not a cold weather person, and the bad thing is I'm in Texas, so it don't even get that bad here. So, but even that's just like I'd rather be 100 degrees than 50. Like I
yeah.
I'm a summer guy, man. I love the beach and love to travel like that. So, but yeah, man, thank you so much for doing this, man. What is one specific Bible verse, man, that comes to mind? What is your favorite Bible verse that you think of that you'd love to share with people?
Man, and that depends on the each conversation, cause like, like, while you're in a conversation, but, like, this is what helps me through this part. But one of the best things for me, I guess, if I'm not talking about other like, a conversation, is James 1:19,
Okay.
and it's, like, talking about, being quick to listen,
Mhm.
slow to anger, slow
Yes.
to speak, and it's just because the biggest part of
Yes,
the
bro.
lifestyle that I came from was what we talked about is like self and like it's about me and I'm gonna get
Yeah.
the last word and I'm gonna, I'm gonna be aggressive and fight and so like that scripture is like sometimes we get a lot real impatient and angry and stuff or at work or different things and there's a lot of things that the scriptures that like when people are talking rumors or something you start trying to meditate on something like no fault no bad language no bad
Yeah.
speech no you start meditating on the
Yeah,
scripture and
no.
for me one of the biggest ones that's helped me through a lot of bad moments is James 1:19. Just use your ears, listen, don't be quick to try to jump over somebody and talk.
100%. Like I said, patience was not my strong suit, bro, and I would be like I would react. It's like even now, bro, like I talk about it sometimes we see in the Christian space like there's a lot of negative comments. There's a lot of negative reactions whenever you drop anything, especially the more people that it reaches. It could reach the wrong people, even though I mean it's the right people, but the people that will say stuff like that, and instead of reacting to it instantly, it's like okay, I need to gather myself quick. I need to calm my, I don't want to react in a aggressive way. I definitely want to help people because people a lot of people anyway, they have good intentions or they just don't know yet. So if I drop something on YouTube and they come across it, they may say something negative about the faith. They may, say something negative about God, but I don't really see it as them just being hateful. They just don't know, man. Because once you
Yeah,
know, if you only knew, bro, like
yeah,
you wouldn't be saying those things. So, I try to share scripture with them, which may or may not help because they may not believe in the scripture, or just try to pray. Just tell, bro, I'm praying for you. Like I pray that you seek Him. I pray that you seek Him with all your heart and that you find Him because once you do, man, all that pride and hate that's in you right now, it won't be there anymore, and you'll feel a lot better. You'll have so much peace that you cannot believe.
yeah.
So, yeah, man.
That's the best way to react for real. Like
Yeah.
I do a little bit of that, or sometimes I'm like more of a comedic. Like
Yeah, no,
somebody will
yeah, for
call,
sure. Yes, 100%.
but I never come back angrily like, "Oh, you just a hater," or like
Yeah, no,
never
no, no.
because that just validates whatever they're trying to prove about
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, but like there's somebody was making fun of my shirt, like it was a Walmart shirt, and I said, "But did you like the bars though?" And he was
Yeah,
like, "It was kind of solid."
that's what I'm
Like he was
saying.
like, it was just like, "I'm not. This is not a fashion show," and he started laughing.
Yeah, see, and like I posted counting me out. Someone said youth pastor is going crazy. I said, "Hey, chill, bro. Chill, bro.
Yeah.
Chill,
Yes.
man."
Somebody told me I gotta get off YouTube. Obviously, he was making fun of me. And I was like, yeah, I agree. Sometimes scrolling can, it could take away a lot of priorities out of your day. Just like messing around, but like not coming out back hateful or being like, oh, you just a hater. So I like to do the little bit of that sometimes
Yeah,
too, depending
that
on
passive
the
aggressiveness is all me right there too. Yeah.
like, yeah, scrolling could be bad, bro. Like, just come funny.
They be like They be like, "Don't quit your day job," and I'm like, "Joke's on you, I didn't.
I did it.
I didn't."
I hit full
Look,
time. I wish I didn't
full
have to. It's full time.
full time, baby. With full-time job, full-time ministry, full-time family, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you for doing this, man. If y'all haven't already, Imma put all his links in the description below, all his, Instagram, all his social media, Spotify, and all that good stuff. Please be on the lookout for new music coming soon, and don't forget to follow my boy, Young Bezzel, man.
Basil, I appreciate you having me.
Stay focused, and God bless y'all.
Stay focused.